Social Security, including retirement, disability, SSDI, survivors, SSI, and VA beneficiaries. The perfect timing of a benefit increase. I have all the details and what you need to know right here in the video, so let's get right into it. All right, now in this video, I want to discuss the nearly perfect timing of a benefit increase for the millions and millions of beneficiaries I just mentioned a few seconds ago. I can tell you this much, it could have been a lot worse, and that's what I want to share with you here in the video because we nailed it when it comes to the benefit increase. So let's get into it and talk through all the details and what you need to know about this. However, really fast before we do, thank you so much for joining me. If you're new here or if you haven't done so yet, please make sure to subscribe by hitting the button right down below the video, as it's totally free to do so. And because I am your one and only daily advocate, I'm here for you right by your side each and every day, watching all this new information hitting the wire. I'm doing all the necessary research and breaking it all down into these short videos so you can stay updated with what's actually going on, and most importantly, how it's going to impact you, your money, your benefits, your lifestyle, your bank account, and of course, anything out there right now you can possibly grab and or take advantage of as a low income or fixed income beneficiary, including money, benefits, raises to benefits, checks, programs, stimulus, or anything else like that. Of course, I want to find it and bring it to your attention right away so you can get as much as you possibly can. As I understand, money is very tight right now for the low income and of course fixed income beneficiaries. So again, thanks so much for joining me. Please subscribe down below if you haven't done so yet. Totally free to do so, and I'll be here for you right by your side every day to help you out in any way that I possibly can. All right, let's get into it and talk about the perfect timing when it comes to a benefit increase for about 70 million beneficiaries. All right, so this is actually very interesting, and I've been talking about this since early 2022 as we were watching all the days, the weeks, and the months tick on by with all of this rapidly rising inflation. I was talking about this a little bit back in early 2022 and mid-2022, and sure enough, here we are, and the timing on the benefit increase was actually nearly perfect. Now again, it could have been a little bit better, but it was nearly perfect. And I want to talk you through the details about this because, like I said earlier, it could have been a lot worse. In fact, I've been seeing some comments down below in the comment section saying the raise should be a lot higher. I totally agree with you. It should be a lot higher. In fact, fixed income beneficiaries need a raise of like 50%, 100%. I mean, seriously, let's be real right now. Benefits need to be increased in a substantial way more than 8 or 9 or 10%, something like that. We need a substantial raise. At a minimum, some benefits need to be raised by like 31% just to be brought up to the federal poverty line. So I completely understand the raises need to be significantly higher than what they actually are. However, the raise that we're looking at for 2023 being the annual cost of living adjustment. Let me tell you the details on this because we pretty much nailed it on this thing. We were off by about a month. However, it could have been a lot worse. So let me talk you through the details because I was digging into this and I thought, you know what, this is actually pretty interesting because if we were just off by one more month, it would have been a very different picture. Let me lay this out for you and illustrate exactly what I'm talking about here. So as we all know, because we've talked about this before, the annual cost of living adjustment is pegged off of the inflation data for the months of July, August, and September. Now, obviously, we're well beyond those times, right? However, looking back in history, retrospectively, I mean, obviously, hindsight vision is always 20/20, right? Well, wouldn't that be nice looking into the future? Unfortunately, that's not really the case. But looking back on it, let's quickly look at the details of the inflation starting in June, going through July, August, September, and then into October. And I want to show you why how the raise and the increase was pegged off of those 3 months, as in July, August, and September, was nearly perfect. And just being off by one more month would have completely skewed the numbers in a very big way. All right, so now, obviously, the raise for all these beneficiaries that I mentioned at the beginning of the video is pegged off of the CPIW, Consumer Price Index, for urban wage earners and clerical workers. However, I'm going to be giving you the CPI, basically the headline number, okay? Doesn't really matter what we look at. It's all kind of one and the same. The CPIW generally runs about 0.7 to about 0.9% higher. But at the end of the day, you're still going to see the illustration that I'm trying to share with you in this video because you're going to clearly see what the numbers I'm going to share with you in just a second. All right, so let's go through this and then you'll clearly see what's going on here. All right, so June. Inflation in the month of June was actually the highest that we saw, 9.1%, okay? Very, very high, okay? However, June was not one of the months that they were taking into consideration for the annual cost of living adjustment. July is the first number. However, keep that 9.1% in mind for just a second here. All right, so June, 9.1%. That was the high water mark that we saw in 2022 when it comes to inflation. However, July was 8.5%. So yes, inflation maybe cooled a little bit, but not that much, right? So July, the reading came in at 8.5%. And again, these are the headline numbers. I completely understand the CPIW numbers are different, but at the end of the day, you're still going to see the point I'm trying to make with this video. All right, so again, June, 9.1%. July, 8.5%. August, another key month that we need to pay attention to, came in at 8.3%. So a little bit lower than July, but not much, okay? September, 8.2%. Again, a teeny tiny bit lower, but still very, very high. And then check this out. October came in 7.7%. So as you can see there, we missed it on the leading end by basically 1 month. However, if we would have gone into October, we'd be looking at very, very different numbers here. So basically what it came down to is we pretty much nailed the raise when it comes down to the Social Security cost of living adjustment, okay? So yes, we could have been a little bit better and we could have pegged that top high water mark there of the 9.1% in June. So we missed it 1 month. If that 9.1% inflation would have been pushed out into July, the raise for benefits would be quite a bit higher. However, if we would have missed it on the back end by 1 more month, as in the 7.7%, let's just say that that would have been pushed into September, the numbers that we'd be looking at for the COLA would be a lot lower, okay? So we actually kind of made out here in a pretty good way, okay? I know a lot of people are reaching out saying the 8.7% COLA raise is an insult. It should be a lot higher. We're insulted. It should be, significantly more than that. This is not a good thing. Again, I've seen all the comments down below. I've also seen some comments out saying, hey, we should be grateful we're even getting anything. Either way, no matter how you look at it, I mean, honestly, it just is what it is, okay? Yes, I agree. We have to be grateful for what we're getting, but at the end of the day, I think we also probably agree it would be nice to be a lot higher. But at the end of the day, let's also recognize, let's be grateful that it's not like 6%, because realistically, it could have been in the 7% range. It could have been a full 1% lower easily, okay? So when we take all this into consideration, we kind of nailed it, okay? I was talking about this back in early 2022. I was saying, based on the trajectory of this inflation and based on how everything is looking, we may peak out with this inflation perfectly timed right in that window that we need to have it, as in July, August, and September, Q3 of 2022, which is what we would have needed to have to top out with all this inflation before it starts coming down. And we missed it. The top was in June, so we kind of missed it by about 1 month, but we pretty much got it as close to perfect as you could have, right? Now, again, like I said, if it would have been pushed out 1 more month, that October number, we did not want that one, okay? The 7.7%, we certainly did not want that, and we didn't get it either, so that's good as well. So we didn't quite catch the top, the 9.1%, but we also didn't catch the major drop-off, the 8.2% in September down to the 7.7%. So we kind of missed one there, right? So this was actually pretty good. Now, again, obviously, we want inflation to go down. We don't want high inflation. High inflation is pretty much not good for anybody, okay? It's just not a good situation for the vast majority of Americans, okay? However, when it comes to high inflation like this, if there's going to be high inflation, let me just say this much. You at least want the high inflation to top out sometime between July, August, and September, because that's going to translate into the maximum amount of raise or increase to your monthly benefits that we possibly could get. And that's almost what we saw here in 2022. So I was looking through the details on this, and seriously, I was looking at it and I thought, wow, this is pretty interesting. We nearly grabbed the top of the inflation. Now, again, I'm not saying that inflation couldn't go higher. In fact, I've been reading a lot about this, and they're saying this might just be a temporary pullback in inflation before we see a lot more, okay? I'm not really sure what's going to happen here with inflation. It's basically just going to be anybody's guess at this point to see what does inflation do going forward? Does inflation continue to go higher? Does it plateau? Does it go down? What happens with inflation? Now, again, anybody can guess. You can guess, I can guess, your next door neighbor can guess, your cat can guess, your dog can guess, your child can guess. It literally doesn't matter, okay? It's anybody's guess at this point what inflation is going to do. The only thing that will tell us the truth is time. Time will tell us the truth, okay? And that's what we're going to know. So 2023 is going to be another very interesting year because this inflation is not over. Now, I've talked about this before, and I want to hit on this one more time really quickly here. I've mentioned this before. If the inflation continues to come down, according to my calculations and my projections, it's going to take at least 1 year of aggressively lowering inflation to bring it down to about the 2 to 2.5% range, which is the benchmark for the Federal Reserve. 1 full year of aggressively lowering inflation, at least a year. We're likely looking at least more than 1 year of aggressively lowering inflation. So this inflation is not going anywhere anytime soon. We're going to be dealing with high inflation through the entire year of 2023 and probably into 2024 as well, okay? So it might go down. We might be seeing, 7%, 6%, 5%, but historically, even 5% inflation is still about 3% higher than what it really should be. Inflation should be at about 2 to 2.5%, maybe 3% during a very high inflationary time. And right now, we're significantly above that level, okay? And the Federal Reserve has indicated they're going to continue to raise interest rates, and they're going to continue their interest rate policy until inflation is brought back down to about the 2 to 2.5% range. I've said this before as well. I don't see that happening. I do not see that happening. If that's the case, the economy is going to be in the gutter, and it's going to be flushed twice over, okay? It's not going to be good, okay? We don't want that to happen to the economy, okay? But if that does happen to the economy, I can tell you this much. It's almost a guarantee that there will be more stimulus, okay? Now, again, this is all probably out a little bit further, but again, we've got to watch all this stuff closely. Anyway, I thought this was an interesting point I wanted to share with you here in the video because, honestly, I've been seeing all those comments and questions down below saying, all kinds of different remarks about the COLA. The COLA just is. There's unfortunately nothing we can do about it. We can't call Social Security and urge them to increase it more. We can't really do anything about it. It just is what it is, okay? So, at the end of the day, yes, it could have been a little bit higher. We could have possibly breached the 9% range if we would have captured that 9.1% peak inflation, but it also could have been mid-sevens too as well. So, realistically, I think we should probably just be grateful that we even got the 8.7%. You know what I mean? So, because, realistically, we could be looking at like 7.5%. So, at the end of the day, we kind of got to take what we can get here. You know what I mean? So I think all of us being low income and fixed income, I feel like any little thing we can grab right now, we got to take it, okay? So anyway, thought this was super interesting. I wanted to share with you in this video the findings that I had here and thought it was pretty interesting. So until next time, please make sure to subscribe down below if you haven't done so yet. Share the video with your friends, family, social media, and go back and check out any of the other thousands and thousands of videos here on the channel. Until next time, please have a nice day. Enjoy, and remember, I'm here for you in any way that I possibly can be. That's my dedication. That's my commitment. And as always, I'm sticking to it. All right, until next time, enjoy, and I'll catch you again later.